Hey, before the video starts, I just wanted to clarify a few things. This video is separated into two parts. The first part was recorded on the day the album came out, and that was the unboxing and first impressions. And the second part was recorded the following Sunday. That was when I did my full in-depth analysis of the album. So if you're just interested in the review, go ahead and skip to this part here in the video. But if you want to stick around for the unboxing and see my first reactions to the album, then keep watching. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. Guys, it's finally here. Finally, after 7 years, Gorillaz released a new album. Just came out today. I was waiting for my album to come in. I wanted to do the full experience, sit down, put my headphones on, and really get into it. I really tried to hold myself back listening to this at work, but I feel like it just wouldn't be the same because I would have to listen to it with one earbud, and like I would be in and out of listening to it. I just wanted to sit down, give you guys my first raw impression, and then tomorrow I'll come back after a few more listens and give you my initial reaction. And my opinion might change over time. I just want to give you guys like the raw first listen, first impressions. I already heard all the singles that they dropped out, and I also participated in the Humanz house party event. Partially, me and my girlfriend had to track down the closest one, which was like about an hour away. It was actually really cool. It was at a park, and we had to go find it on a trail. It was kind of like Pokemon Go, how things would pop up on your screen, and there were certain geotagged locations where you can go and actually listen to the full album. We didn't listen to all of it, only a few songs, and some of those were the singles that came out, but for what I heard, it got me really excited to listen to the whole thing. So let's just get into it. So, came in this box here. I ordered it from Amazon, and let's just open it up. This is so difficult. So we got 2D on the front here, or is this the back? Oh no, yeah, this is the back. Noodle is actually on the front here, as you can see. These feel heavy. They're supposed to be 180 gram vinyls, and you want your records to be heavy. That way when it's on the record player, it's not like waving around. It's just sitting there, and these are supposed to be those. And oh man, this print just looks so cool. I just love the art style for this. So let's go ahead and open it up. I only got the standard one. The deluxe one came in an art book, and that's pretty much the only difference. The super deluxe one was like $350, and it came with one record for each track, and each track had an alternate version. I'd love to actually hear those tracks, but I'm not going to spend $350 for a record set, even though I know it's a collector's item and each record is a different color. It's super cool, but no. So we open it up, and we got Russell and Murdoch in there. Good looking fellas. And let's see what kind of sleeves it comes in. Oh man, this is cool. Oh, I like this sleeve. Hold on. I gotta put this down. I gotta show you this. Gotta be careful, because this is gonna be one of my go-to in my collection, I'm sure. Here's the insert for the sleeve, and on the back you got, oh yes, I love it, there's credits on the back, and man, I really love this art style. Here's the other disc. Alright, I gotta look at the record. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. It's so sexy. No, you watch yourself. It looks like a really good print, like really solid. The grooves are very defined. It's not all blended together. It looks straight as an arrow. 33.3 RPMs. Anyway, I gotta listen to this. So I will be back after my first listen, and I'll give you guys my first impression. So I just finished side 1, and I'm gonna need a fresher breath air after that one. I mean, that one got me jamming. Talk about party at the end of the world. Alright, on to side B. Busted in Blue. Side B is finished. Rolling them out. Side C, great. Side D, expecting to be great. Let's move on. Wow. Well, that was good. They weren't wrong when they were talking about it being the party record at the end of the world. There was so much to that album. I definitely have to listen to it a lot more and get back to you guys on my more in-depth feelings of it. But right now I'm filled with a lot of emotions, and they took it to 50 different areas and 50 different styles. You know, it's just, they're not afraid to do that multimedia, multi-genre feel, and I love that about the Gorillaz. They've got quite a range, and it shows a lot in this album. I'll be definitely talking about it more. I will see you guys tomorrow sometime. I'm gonna go take a bath. It's a new day. Hello again. I know it's been a couple days. I said that I'd see you tomorrow, but I wanted to give myself another day to do a little more research, give myself a little more time with the album so I can give you more of an informed opinion on it. And my verdict right now is that as a whole, the album is great. I talked about it a little after my first reaction, but this album was meant to be listened to as a whole. I'm really glad I got the vinyl copy because it's more of a ritual. You put the record on and you sit down and listen to the whole thing, and you can really get immersed in this album. Damon Albarn wanted to make a party record for the end of the world, so it couldn't be more topical right now. But his goal wasn't to make a political record. That's why they edited out certain words that could possibly date the album, like and when creating the tracks, they wanted to stick with the mantra, as Twilight Tone puts it, pain, joy, and urgency. You really feel that in this album. In every song, you can tell that they stuck to their story. We start off the album with a quick narration by the fantastic Ben Mendelsohn. So it's just a quick introduction to get you in the album, and right off the bat it got my attention. Then the album kicks off into the opening act of Ascension featuring Vince Staples. And to me, this song represents the drunken rager at the end of the world, encouraging everyone to like let loose and get wild, get crazy, let my people go crazy. It's high in energy, it's fast, it's non-stop, it's hip-hop, it's gospel, it's futuristic, it's electronic, it's gritty. I think it's a great first song to get you going for the album. Then we move on to the funky Strobelite featuring Peven Everett. And this one, whew, it's so funky, it's so filled with soul. Peven's voice just fills your blood with that smooth pain, joy, and urgency. I mean, the song starts off with the lyrics, "Momentary pain can be a pleasure lane." And you feel those emotions drive this song. It might be one of my favorites on the album right now because it just, the second I heard it, I was really grooving with it and I was with the song the whole time. Number 4 on this album is Saturnz Barz, also known as the Irish one.
That Irish one, the Saturn Barz.
We call
tell them about
it's
that.
Our nickname is, we call it the Irish one because he goes, "Oh my life,"
Oh.
like that.
Yeah.
This future reggae hip hop pop song didn't really hit me at first, but the more I listened to it, the more it grew on me. The auto-tune threw me off at first, but I think it really fits the song and it fits perfectly in its spot on the album. I mean, you feel the pain, you feel the struggle in Popcaan's voice, even through the auto-tune. You get the weird mystical feeling that the Gorillaz are known for, and it's weird, but I love it. De La Soul is back with Momentz. This one is wild. They bring hard style to hip hop, and you know what? I think it's a good match. You could tell this has a heavy club influence. It's got that pumping beat behind it, just non-stop bass, non-stop synth, until you hit the outro, and then it kind of changes tones completely, kind of giving a nice contrast to the song. And I think De La Soul's verses fit really well in the song. If you don't like hardstyle, you're not going to like this song. It might just sound like noise to some people, but again, this was meant to be part of a whole collection, so I think it is good in this album. And they're even a little tongue-in-cheek at the end when Ben Mendelsohn says, "I need to step out for a fresher breath air" after that one. And then we get an interlude with a section from Steve Martin's A Wild and Crazy Guy, and it's got this back and forth between a man and a crowd. It's like an ironic chant repeat, kind of funny fresher breath air before the next song. Track 7, Submission, featuring Danny Brown and Kelela, I think is how you say it. No idea, honestly. I haven't heard her before this song. I have heard Danny Brown, and I love that guy. It's kind of goofy, but he's great. This one's like a club love song. To me, I got the impression that you have this person that you love, but you can't quite get to them. They keep getting right out of your reach. It's very frustrating. You want to reach out to them, but you can't. It's got a happy feeling beat, but it's also darker and more emotional than your typical pop song. And when Danny Brown came in, it really shifted the song into a high gear. Then on to number 8 in the album, Charger. And the jury's still out on this one for me. It might be my least favorite song on the album, but it's not terrible, don't get me wrong. It sort of builds and develops into something, but I wish I could have heard more of Grace in this one. But who knows, maybe throughout more listens I'll be able to appreciate the song more. Then there's a 2-second interlude leading into Andromeda. And as soon as I heard this song back when it first came out, I had a feeling it was going to be my favorite song on the album, and it's still up there. I wouldn't necessarily say it's my most favorite, but I do love this song a lot. This song is dedicated to Ethel, who was Damon Albarn's partner's mother, and you could tell that Damon was really feeling this song. He mentioned in a podcast how some of the lines were improvised. They isolated some of his vocals, and you could tell that he was crying while he was singing this. Then you got a little sprinkle of D.R.A.M in there, and he does a great job bringing out some awesome melodies throughout the song. It's just really raw and a beautiful song altogether. Then on to probably my favorite song on the album, Busted and Blue. This existential crisis of a song makes you really feel yourself and contemplate existence, honestly. I remember sitting there when I was first listening to the song with the Humanz house party. It was raining outside. I was really drawn in to the emotion and the questions that this song raises. One interpretation of this song that I've heard was that 2D is contemplating what happened before the universe, and now it seems that it's busted and blue in the condition that it's in. And he's reaching out to someone, but that someone isn't there. There's a lot of despair in this track. and it seems that just some questions are left unanswered. And that's a good midpoint. That's the end of side B. And I feel like if this were a play, the intermission would go right after this song. Then after a quick interlude with Ben Mendelsohn, we go into Carnival featuring Anthony Hamilton. You really feel like you're at the carnival in this one. They explore the theme, in my interpretation, that even though all this wacky shit is going on, we're still having fun. We're still going to laugh and have a good time. Hamilton talks about wanting to keep someone satisfied while they're being robbed blind. The beat's a little spooky, kind of like you're at a carnival, like a madhouse, funhouse type feel. I think it's a great addition to the album. Number 14 on the track is Let Me Out featuring Pusha T and Vince Staples. What a crazy track. This one pushes the boundaries of what we call reality. It questions all the things that make us go crazy, and I think it's the resistance song in the album, kind of pushing back. This is the state of the world that we're living in. Are we just supposed to accept that? Or can we have a voice? Can we resist? Are we going crazy? Is everything futile? Because the change is here, but it's what we do with that change that really defines us as people. I think there's hope in this one. Like, we aren't going to give up. We will keep fighting, and we will resist. Number 15, a quick interlude introduction into the next track. Narration, again by Ben Mendelsohn, just kind of getting us ready for the sex murder party. And just imagine taking a bunch of drugs and then going to a penthouse party. And that's what I feel like this song is. The song is pretty out there. It's kind of unstructured, but I think that's their point. Jamie Principle and Zebra Cats are featured on this song. Their vocals add a lot for sure. They balance well with 2D's vocals. And though this song does feel unstructured to me, it still flows very well. This one feels like it might have had some improvisational aspects to it as well. Parts of it definitely feel like a jam song. I don't think it was meant to sound clean. I think it was supposed to be pretty raw, like you're actually at this party and no one really knows what's going on. There's a sense of chaos, there's a sense of dread. Again, it has that pain, joy, and urgency. I feel it all in this song. Next up, number 17, She's My Caller. And this is probably another one of my favorite songs on the album. I think it stands out on its own. It's got almost an 80s pop vibe to it. To me, 2D has this girl that keeps drawing him in, like she's got him by the collar. She may not necessarily be right for him, but he's cleared everyone else and he only wants her. Even if it's totally wrong, even if she doesn't reciprocate the feelings, she still has him, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Even if it's not two-sided, that one person's feelings can still be strong. Callie comes in the third verse, and she's got that great soul, very disco feel in her voice. Hers and 2D's voice go really well together. It's a great duet. It's a great pair. Yeah, I could listen to this song all day. Then number 18, another interlude by Ben Mendelsohn. And I'd be really curious to see like what didn't make the cut on this album as far as his narrations goes, because some of this stuff is really like out there, really weird. I'm not sure I get all of it, but I'm sure someone will explain to me sometime. Hopefully, maybe. Who knows? And speaking of out there, number 19 on the album, Hallelujah Money featuring Benjamin Clementine. I'm sure I wasn't the only one who felt like this, but when they first released this track on the eve of Donald Trump's inauguration, I was a bit thrown off by it. It took me a second to register that it was in 3/4 time, so I was really having a hard time trying to follow along with the track. But once my brain kind of clicked in that it was in a different time signature, I started to enjoy it a bit more, and I don't know, I kind of dismissed it for a while, but listening to it in the album itself, I really do like this track. It's clearly anti-Trump. It's clearly anti-big money. And if you look at the music video, you'll see that even more. Benjamin Clementine has an amazing voice. He really lets loose in this song, really shows his range. But yeah, this is not a super accessible track. Not everyone likes it, and I could totally see why. But again, in the album, I think this track fits very well. Finally, number 20, the last song on the regular version of the album, we got The Power. This one ties it all together. Pretty much this is saying that we can come together, be as one, and make change happen. I know it's cheesy, but it's true. Like, none of that matters if we come together as people and work towards the greater good. And I feel like that's always been Gorillaz' message, is that they're talking about all of these things, but they're not talking hopelessly about it, at least not all the time. I mean, there are definitely some like existential, like depression moments in the Gorillaz music, but I think there's always that hopeful optimism that's there hiding beneath the surface, even in the darkest songs. But yeah, that's the whole album, not including the bonus tracks, which are on the deluxe album, which on their own are very good, and those are definitely worth a listen or several. The Gorillaz had so much music to edit down into this album, and I'm sure that they're going to be coming out with more in the future. There's a TV show coming out next year. I'm sure they have plenty of projects on the way. What they were really trying to accomplish with this album, and I think a lot of reviewers are kind of missing the point, is that it's one collective story. Damon really wanted this to be listened to as a whole. He didn't like the idea of pulling out tracks separately. But I'd say overall, as an album, they accomplished exactly what they were trying to do. It's a party album for the end of the world, and for that I commend the Gorillaz, because not a lot of artists are willing to take on a project like that. But the Gorillaz have always been ambitious. I feel like they always will be ambitious, and I feel like we need more people like that. And overall, final verdict, we'll have to see how this stands the test of time, but I feel like it will hold up as a very solid album. This is an album that you're going to sit down, take the journey of the album, and I definitely will be coming back to this album. I look forward so much to what's to come from the Gorillaz. It sounds like they're taking on a lot of projects, and I'm really excited. So overall, I'd give this album a solid 8.8 out of 10. And the reason for that is, as a whole, this album is a great piece of art. And there's enough single tracks on the album that I'll be listening to pretty regularly. Now, I'm not going to listen to every single song all the time, but I think that's what's great about the Gorillaz, is that there's something for everyone. And that might not be for everyone. Some people like the consistency of knowing what a band's going to put out, but me personally, I love having that anticipation of not knowing what their sound is going to be next. They're ever evolving, ever changing. Even the bands that they play with and the performances that they do live is a very evolving experience. And again, not enough bands are willing to take that risk. I'm super appreciative of what the Gorillaz are, and I'm really excited for their next project. So there it is, my first video. I hope you guys liked it. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm just kind of getting started on this, and if you liked it, please subscribe, come hang out, come talk to me, let me know what you liked, let me know what you didn't like, because I'm gonna be evolving this channel. It's gonna hopefully grow into something more solid. Pretty much anything related to music is going to be on this channel. So if you're interested at all, please subscribe. If you hated this video, let me know, because I do want to know your opinions and I want to grow as a channel. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video, and have a good day.
The bath! Hey you guys, I'm just gonna take a bath.
This video will probably get like 15 views.